Right over here. UFC fight number 35 for you, man. How does it feel?
Is that what number it is now?
Yeah.
All right.
How's it feeling? Is it still fun after all these years?
It gets more fun after all these years, man. Every day, every training camp, every opponent is a new challenge faced, and yeah, just more intriguing. Every matchup is more intriguing to me than the last, and you know, as we continue in our career, we find you know, different talents, different skills, different things that you know, we're developing every training camp, and yeah, every opponent poses a new threat, but just another challenge to me that keeps us hungry, keeps us going in this sport.
When they come to you with a fight, like I know some of the more veteran guys, they kind of pick matchups that might be against a vet or against another guy that's been around, but you seem to just kind of continue to take on all comers. At this point in your career, why is that? Is it just part of the challenge for you?
Yeah, you know, we fought countless veterans, and it's fun to fight, you know, newer faces in the sport as well. Rafa Garcia is one of these guys who's been super active since he got onto the UFC roster, and I feel like a guy like him in his shoes, he wants to take on, you know, a veteran that's been in the sport for a long time, you know, to see where he stands, you know, on that list. So, man, cheers to him. I know he's going to bring you know, bring his A game, which I'm hoping for, and I'm super excited about the challenge, and it's going to be a lot of fun in there, man. He's definitely, he likes to bang. We like to get out there and make it a wild fight, so this one's got Fight of the Night written all over it.
Must be nice to kind of finally get on a streak of fighting in front of fans again. I know that's a big, important thing for you, so were you excited that this one was going to be here in Kansas City?
Yeah, most definitely. It's nice to be back in the Midwest. You know, home was Chicago, not too far away, so we'll have a lot of, you know, fans from, you know, Lake of the Ozarks, from St. Louis. I spent a lot of time in Missouri. We'll have a lot of fans from back home in Illinois coming out, and obviously our friends and family coming from Florida as well. That's where we've been living for a few years. So it's nice to have a place like this that Kansas City doesn't get a whole lot of attention in mixed martial arts world. And I tell you what, it's a fight town, and I think they came here 7 years ago. It was sold out, so we're expecting a wild crowd come Saturday night, man, and especially after, you know, they won the Super Bowl. It's a new Victoryville in the Midwest, so it'd be great to see some of those Chiefs come out too and show some support to the UFC.
I know you've alternated results in the last, like, 4, I believe, alternated wins and losses. Do you feel like here, kind of racking up a win streak again, you can get some momentum behind you and start 2023 well?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to start the year off on the right foot. We ended it on the right foot, you know, with the close one over Scotty Holtzman, who's definitely a legit opponent. And yeah, we want to keep it going. It's time to get back on a win streak, man. It's been a long time. We've had some really, really close ones. 2021 was a pretty good year for us, you know. And yeah, we're going to just keep it rocking, man. I'm super excited about this one. And man, it's going to be a banger.
Everybody knows you and the energy you bring, and that's never wavered. But physically, after all these years, I guess, how are you feeling like when you wake up in the morning as a guy that's had 60 whatever pro fights?
People ask me that all the time, and I tell them we're 41 going on 21. I'm in better shape now than I was in my 20s, man. And we keep that same mentality in our training camps, outwork everybody, and the rest will fall in place.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Clay. It's been a couple of fights without the long hair.
Don't remind me, man.
Do you miss it?
Every day.
What was the reason for cutting it?
Man, it wasn't by choice, and I didn't cut it. I just sat there in the chair, and they cut it, man. As a matter of fact, we had to take another path, man. We had to go to Bosley. Had to get a couple of hair transplants. So I've accepted it, and I realize that comes with age sometimes, man. But hopefully these procedures continue to work, and you know, if we have to be Bosley poster boy, I guess we're cool with it, man. But as long as the hair comes back someday, man, because I miss it. I think the girls miss it too. So hopefully it comes back, man.
So, you know, if it comes back, you're still gonna rock the long hair?
Damn right, man. Like Kid Rock says, long hair swinging, middle finger in the air, man.
What was the biggest fish you caught last year?
Oh, last year I finally got that giant Goliath grouper, man. I caught a 400-pound Goliath grouper down in Florida where I live now, off the Boca Grande Pass, way out there and offshore. And yeah, the thing was literally the size of a Toyota. It was unreal. Got it in about 7 minutes, and finally got to check that one off on the books, man. So I was pretty pumped about it.
What's the fish that you haven't caught that you gotta catch before you're done?
Man, I'm still waiting on a big tuna. We run our fishing guide service, Gills and Throws with Guida, and we're waiting on a big blue cow, man. I want to get my 200-pound or 300-pound, bluefin tuna, man. That's on the books right now.
If someone hasn't fished, what's something that like they don't know about fishing that like maybe it's they think is boring, or like what's like something that you would sell somebody to?
For someone that hasn't fished before, book a trip with us at Gills and Throws with Guida, and we'll show them an adventure they know that'll last for a lifetime, man. We have a great time out there. We got some of the best guides in the U.S. Freshwater, saltwater, you name it. We'll put them on some fish that'll change their lives forever, man. It's such a great challenge and just so much fun being out there on the water, and we make it a lot of fun for them, especially for new fishermen, for seasoned vets, whatever it is. Everyone has a good time when they come out and get on the water with us.
I think it was like 4 fights ago. Like you asked the UFC for like these younger up and comers. After Rafa, are you gonna want those veteran fights again, or do you just like you said, or like you welcome the newcomers?
At this point in our career, we've always welcomed everyone. We've never turned down a fight, and we're not going to change anything now, man. We know that we pose a problem for every individual, for every opponent out there on the roster, and we're going to continue to do so and just keep checking them off the list, man. It's one of my goals, just to, always compete against, anyone that they give us. And to us, it's just another name, man. Just another competition, another challenge for us.
Another vet got into the Hall of Fame, Don Cerrone. You came up with him with the WEC, UFC.
Yep.
What were your thoughts on him going in?
Welcome to the club, Donald Cerrone. It's a prestigious club. It's an honor, and it was a long time coming for him. He's one of those guys that literally fought everyone. He fought at the highest level, and it's pretty amazing to me what he was able to do in the sport. I remember because we had trained together for a while at Jackson's, but I remember when he was in WEC for a while, and then he made his UFC debut in 2010, and I was already in the UFC in 2006, and he surpassed me and the rest of the list. He's got more fights than me in the UFC, and he started 4 years after me. I was like, man, this guy is just a machine. He would fight anyone on short notice, whenever, it doesn't matter. He would go up weight classes, down weight classes, and he would always come out and put on a show. And that's what fans want to see. That's what the organization wants to see. And that's why he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well-deserved for him and his family. Congratulations, Donald Cerrone.
And then finally, I asked Jim Miller this, but if you could get one rematch, that's your career, who would it be? Man,
that's a good question. Jim and I had a quick one, you know what I mean? I had him rocked, and Jim's a buddy of mine. And, that was one. It was just, man, he's got a choke that was just nasty. It wasn't getting out of. We've had so many fights. It's hard to pick one. People always say the Diego Sanchez rematch, but that one is like, you can't redo a fight like that. We saw what happened with Stephan Bonner, and rest in peace, and Forrest Griffin. The second fight just wasn't like the first one, so it's like sometimes you just have to leave that one alone. The Mark Madsen fight, to me that was an important one just because of his wrestling accolades. I thought we won that one. It'd be fun to get in there again with him, mix it up, but it's one that had, I think, more on the line. The Ben Henderson one would have been good to get back because that was #1 contender. That would have gotten me my shot to, finally fight for a belt. That was a close one. That was a split decision. I could go down the list, but I guess, ones that have the most meaning, that would probably be the one. I guess that would probably be the most important one that would have gotten me to a title fight.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, Clyde.
Sorry about that.
Just curious, what's the perception that you have from the Mexican fighters?
What is the perception I have from the Mexican fighters, Mexican fans?
For the Mexican fighters, and if you want to talk about the Mexican fans too.
Oh, man. Mexican fighters are phenomenal. You talk about pure entertainment, heart, guts, just phenomenal. They go out there every time, and they're intense, and they always put it on the line. That's what it's all about. That's what fighting is all about, Mexican pride. And it's just amazing to see them come out and have so much success. Because I remember I was training at Jackson's when I think 12 or 13 of the Hispanic fighters got sent out there to train. And yeah, I got to work out with with quite a few of them. Chito was there, Yair Rodriguez was there, Guida, Canetti. I mean, the list goes on. Mowgli. We got to train with all of these guys. They were living in the dorms at Jackson's gym, so we got to see. I guess you could say almost the beginning of that, and to see how much success they've had as of late, it's phenomenal. They are just so dedicated to the sport, and man, do they put on entertaining fights. To see Brandon Moreno, and see what Cain Velasquez has kind of started, and these guys are just kind of carrying the they passed the torch and they're carrying it now. So it's awesome to see. So I'm honored to fight Rafa Garcia. It's going to be just a phenomenal fight.
Thank you, Clay.
Thank you.